saw that he was a bombshell not only for me. Other girls were showing all signs of infatuation. To make a long story short, after a couple of weeks, I was head over heels in love. I was not the only one. There was the whole fan club of our English teacher. My best friend Eve was there as well, but I was jealous. I wanted to go further than other girls. I found Mr. Scott in social network and decided to write him a message. I thought that maybe we can chat sometime and it would make me closer to him. And maybe he will like me, and maybe... But I didn't think that far. Just being a silent dreamer was not enough for me. I wrote a message. He didn't respond. Then another one. Hello, it's Lily. I just wanted to ask you if you think I should improve my English grammar. He was online, but clearly ignored me. Well, I understood that maybe I was too small for him to talk to me or something. But suddenly a message sounded. My heart beating, I grabbed the phone and saw a brief, "Hi Lily, no, everything is fine. Take care." I was dancing and singing of joy. I responded, "Take care, you too." Should I say that I read and reread that chat at least 100 times during that evening? I decided that after such a promising beginning, I would surely establish a special relation with Mr. Scott. I tried to be around him as often as possible. I couldn't take my eyes off him during break in an English lesson, and did my best so that he saw me all the time. From time to time, I wrote him a message or two about studies, or just with some nice words, and sometimes he even responded. His messages were neither long nor affectionate, but that was only a beginning, as I thought. Point is that even if I was a bit too present, I didn't actually stalk him or something, so he couldn't even tell me to back off and leave him alone. It wouldn't be polite. However, things didn't develop in any way, so I got desperate. I was stupid enough to complain to Eve, my best friend, who was also in love with him. I didn't say that his communication with me was monosyllabic. I just told her that Mr. Scott didn't enjoy talking to me as much as I would like to. Eve seemed shocked that I was chatting with our teacher, but didn't comment much. In several days, we got a heartbreaking news. Mr. Scott was leaving us right in the middle of the term. I was inconsolable, as well as my classmates. I had no idea about the reason.
Big buddy.
Hi, Daniel.
Hi, Nyanya. What happened?
Yeah, we can talk to Cindy.
What? What happened? What happened, David?
During the break, I was called to the principal where they gave me an inquiry on my personal relationships with Mr. Scott. It was so absurd. I denied absolutely and showed them our chat to prove that he had always been cool and professional towards me. Turned out that after our conversation, Eve went straight to the principal to report. Strange relationships between the teacher and the student. I was crying and convincing the principal that he was not to blame. It was totally my idiocy. I was so shocked and ashamed. When you ruin your own life, it's okay. But when a nice adult person loses his job because of me, it is so painful. The principal was convinced and said that Mr. Scott was above suspicion, which was good news. Bad news was that Mr. Scott left us anyway without even bidding goodbye. I wrote him apologetic messages, but he never responded. My parents found out about the story and didn't hesitate to inform me that my behavior was asinine and that they were ashamed of me, as if I hadn't been blaming myself enough. I lost my best friend. I was embarrassed. I lost my favorite teacher who was clearly ignoring my apologies. I was crying my eyes out. One day, however, I received an ultimate blow. Imagine Mr. Scott, who casually enters your house to have dinner with you. God, I was ready to die out of embarrassment. Turns out my parents invited him to apologize for my behavior and didn't tell me anything to punish me even more. I thought it would be an epic fail, but I actually felt better after that dinner. First thing Mr. Scott did was to assure me he was not angry or offended. As he explained, the school board knew he was innocent so that he could remain. His mistake was to answer me because it creates subtext, and a teacher mustn't chat with a student. He was still young, and it didn't occur to him. But first, he didn't want any gossip. And second, he got a better proposal at a high school nearby and was glad to accept it. So for him, things after this story got even better. He finally accepted my apologies. After all, I've learned two things from this sad experience. First, before you do something, think how it may influence other people. And second, keep your mouth shut. Share this story with people who who have had similar experience and share your stories in the comments.
Mommy. Mommy.
But
Subscribe to this channel to see more stories like mine. Never had bacon. It ruins everything without bacon forever.
hey, this is David. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell Mom. See.
David.
Hi, my name is Damien. The story I'd like to tell you is very painful for my family and me, but my experience will probably help somebody, even though I don't know how. Well, just listen. I'm going to tell you what happened last Christmas, but first, let me explain what my life was like before that day. I had a pretty ordinary life. We have a big family. My mum, my dad, me, and my little brother and sister. We didn't have any serious problems. We were just an ordinary happy family. We kept tight and had a kind and trustful relationship. Christmas was approaching, and so were some changes in my life. It was my love.
Ñaña, ¿ya te abrió la puerta?
Last year at school. And I was going to college many miles away.
Hi, my name is Ryan. Me and my mom. Her name is Diane, and I'm her only child. This is important to the story. She studied to become an architect, but lost interest really fast, so she never actually worked as an architect. When she married my dad at 23, she was right at the point where she didn't really know what she wanted to do. Then, pretty soon after, my mom got pregnant, and that eventually helped her to decide. She started a blog. A mom blog, or a baby blog, whatever you want to call it. As parents have told me, blogs were kind of blooming at that time, and a lot of people were starting their own. So this blog started as a kind of online diary for friends and family. My mom would write posts about her pregnancy and expectations, and share tips and pictures. Anything, really. As the weeks went by, the blog gathered more and more readers, and a lot of them were strangers. The internet itself was growing quickly at this time. After I was born, my mom just got more enthusiastic. Now she had a lot more things to tell her readers about. Of course, this is stuff I can't remember, since the blog is older than me. But as I have grown up, I've scrolled all the way down the blog feed to 2005, and there was everything. Pictures of me as a newborn baby, then as a toddler, and on and on. We'll get to that a little later. And it was not just about the pictures, of course. Almost every day she would write about what happened during that day, with the most intimate details. And I guess I learned a lot of stuff most kids are not supposed to know, like the fact that I wasn't planned. I mean, I'm totally fine with that. And all of these early posts are no problem in general. Things just got awkward as I was growing up. You don't have many secrets when you're a toddler. But as you get closer to your teenage years, you start to experience stuff you'd rather keep private. The problem was, my mom didn't seem to understand that. I think I was around 12 when I started to have problems with what she was posting, because, I grew up with the blog, and for a really really long time, I didn't think it could be any other way. And the thing that still amazes me is that my mom did not lose interest over all these years. Of course, she doesn't post every day anymore, but she still...